Welcome to Well Life with Linda Harris. I am Linda Harris. I'm happy to be back with you again for another segment to teach you about health and well-being. I want to talk to you tonight about lifestyle changes. What is a lifestyle change and what does it really mean? You know, at Well Life, I've told you before, we deal with a lot of wellness issues, health issues. We strive to help people become healthier and to live to their optimal level as much as possible. As a naturopathic practitioner and professional and a massage therapist, someone who deals with people with weight, with their body, with pain, I cover a lot of different areas of someone's life when I'm working with them. Most often, people do call originally because they're interested in weight loss. You know, weight loss is a big topic. I've talked a lot about that recently and different things that we can do, things that are healthy and things that are unhealthy. And so I kind of wanted to go into that a little bit more, but for some reason people tend to get in the doors a little bit easier whenever they're interested in losing some weight. That's when they realize there's a little bit more to losing weight than just what you eat and when you eat, even though those things are very important. You know, a lifestyle change is when we modify or adopt a new habit. It could even be according to our behavior. It can be about our behavior. It can be about how we're eating, how we're living, how we're sleeping. You know, things that can affect our overall health and well-being. It involves making significant and sustained adjustments in many areas of our lives in order to improve the overall health and well-being that we want to achieve. You know, we all have habits. Some are good, some are bad, and some may not seem to have any significance at all in our everyday routine. This is when someone walks in the door wanting to lose weight and get healthier and have their bodies look a little bit better, and they begin to realize as we go through the program how much all of these things and how many things are involved in a lifestyle change. I want to use, because so many people can relate to the dieting, I want to use that as an example, but this can be an example in anything that is affecting you and anything that needs to change. I wanted to mention something about yo-yo dieting. You know, I've talked about that before. I've had my little term of yo-yo dieting or regular yo-yo dieting. But when we're doing yo-yo dieting, you know, a lot of us will have an event we want to go to. We want to go to a party or an event or something we need to speak at, or we just want to look good for a special occasion. So what will happen oftentimes is we'll get right into what I call the yo-yo dieting. We'll start a diet. Maybe we'll do a cleanse or a detox, which is good for us to do for our body from time to time. And this is what can make it a little bit confusing because these things are considered good for you to do. But yo-yo dieting is when you go up and you go down. When you diet for a while, you know, we get ready for that party. We finally fit into that dress we want to wear. So then we go to the party. We have a wonderful time. Everybody tells us how great we look. We go home and 2 days later, we're binge eating or we're back into eating even what we were normally eating before we were doing a detox or a cleanse. And so what you've done is you've took your body to where it's trying to be healthy, and then you're going right back to what you were doing before. What this does is it causes your body's metabolic rate, can't talk tonight, it causes your body's metabolic rate to slow down. And when that slows down, it causes havoc in your body, and it makes your body respond to the weight differently. It affects hormones. Let's say hormones like insulin. Insulin can become unstable when we're going up and down with our dieting, and it causes fat to accumulate in our face, our neck, our chin, our abdomen, which is opposite of what we're trying to achieve. When we think about something significant, we think about something that is great, it's noteworthy and important. And you know, our health and our well-being is way more important than the events that we want to go to or the bathing suit we want to fit into. And how we feel about ourselves when we look in the mirror is very important. But there's so many other things that are important that goes along with that. And then being sustained means continuing or without interruption. So when I'm working with a client, what I do is I will, of course, we've talked about this before, I'll get a health history, I'll find out things that's going on with them, but I'll find out things that they want to improve. We'll begin to dig deeper. So the person that's come in that wants to lose weight, then they realize, wow, there's a lot more to this. It can include things like physical activity, sleep, your stress management, daily routines, your diet, and a whole lot more. And then there's subcategories that we work with. Reasons for making lifestyle changes can be different for everyone. A lot of times we go to the doctor, we get our blood tests done, things don't come back as good as we hope that they would, and then we want to try to do something to improve that. We're trying to stay off of medication, so then we want to try to do something healthier that can keep us off of medication, those of us who want to try to be off medication. And then we search out someone. That's what happens at Well Life. People walk in the door, they're like, I want to get better, I want to feel better, I want to lose weight, I've got to get my numbers down so I don't have to be on diabetic medicine or blood pressure medicine, or I'm trying to reduce the medication that I'm on. So what we want to do when we're making lifestyle changes is create habits that help us prevent chronic diseases. That chronic diseases are rampant in not only our country but in our world, and it's due to our lifestyles. Your lifestyle includes way more than your food and what you eat. Chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, obesity, all of these things, the numbers in them are so high. I was talking to a client yesterday, and she was talking about going to the stores around to shop for clothes. She says, I can't find anything to wear. She wears an extra large to a 2X, and all the stores have small, medium, and large. Maybe you can find larges there. And so the conversation ended with us saying, well, it's kind of strange. It seems like they would make more money selling the bigger sizes, because if you look at the numbers in the United States alone, we are an obese country, and we need to do something about that to become healthier. Becoming healthier can help decrease your insurance payouts, things that you have to pay out, doctor bill payouts, co-payouts. It can help you financially. So that's another thing to think about when you're thinking about making a lifestyle change. So other than preventing chronic diseases, we want to do that to enhance our fitness. I'm fixing to have a big birthday this year. This is actually the end of August, and I've worked so much lately, I've not done as much exercise. And as we get older, we feel little aches and pains, and those are some things, habits that I need to instill deeper and work on harder myself. When we can enhance our fitness and exercise, we move better, we can enjoy doing things more, we can increase our muscle strength, which helps us as we get older and we're trying to walk around and do things. Your muscle strength and the core muscles in your body that help hold you up and hold you upright are so important to your everyday living. Just to everyday living, those things are important. Another thing is, boosting our immunity with the things that are going around now. Since COVID, people, I believe, have been way more aware of the immune system and your immunity. We're wanting to travel again and do things when we go on to planes, or we get on cruise ships, or we just go to events around a lot of people. We are exposed to things, and I guess we just have a more heightened awareness of that since we had COVID and experienced shutdowns and having to stay at home. But your immune system being strengthened can help you not get as sick if you come in contact with these things. So it's just like shots or medication or anything else. They can't prevent 100% from you catching something, but if your immune system is built up and strong enough, when you do get something, your body's going to respond and act accordingly to what you've been doing to boost your immune system, and it's going to help you get well quicker and maybe not get as sick. Another thing, and we don't think about this when we're thinking about, our wellness per se, but our mood, improving our mood. I always talk about mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional. So our emotions and our mental health, our moods, certain behaviors we have can affect our life. It affects our life because it affects other people's lives as well. And so, you know, we don't, some people suffer from depression, anxiety. Some people react to that. A lot of times you may be around someone who suffers from anxiety and maybe they tend to get agitated more, which could also be a sign of low sugar. But when we're talking about moods and behaviors and emotions and attitudes and things, a lot of times someone can get agitated because they're anxious, they have anxiety. So improving their mental health and taking time to do things that can improve that is so important to them, and it can enhance your life even more. Another thing is better sleep. So better sleep, we need our sleep. Let me tell you, you need a good mattress, you need to go to bed at a good time, and you need to get some good rest, or your body will just be run down. And you know, I'm talking to myself when I say that. I'm a prime example. I tend to overwork a little bit, and I tend to not go to bed when I should because I've got other things on my mind that I want to tend to. And so I myself lately have had to remind myself that, Linda, you've got to work more on your sleeping because it's so important for you to stay healthy so that you can get out and teach other people and help other people do the things that can help improve their health. And I want to lead by example, so I need to do better myself. Is this always a reminder to myself when I'm working with other people that I need to do better? You know, one important part that people don't think about is relationships. Our relationships are important to our health and our well-being. And I'm actually going to do a whole separate show on relationships and boundaries soon. So I'm not going to say much more about that, but I do want to make you aware that your relationships that you can have positive relationships, negative relationships. They affect you accordingly. So our relationships are important in our mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional well-being. You know, we need to have increased energy levels. So proper nutrition, regular physical activity, adequate rest, they all contribute to a higher, more sustained energy level throughout the day, and that enhances our quality of life. So adopting healthy lifestyles and healthy habits can lead to increased life expectancy and better quality of life, enabling individuals to engage in activities they enjoy. Maintain independence as they age. You know, as we get older, my age now that I'm turning, and I'm not ancient by any means, but I think about those things. What's going to happen to me when I get older if I'm not taking care of my body? So to me, I don't want to burden my family. I don't want to burden my children. I want to be able to enjoy my children and my grandchildren and my friends. And since I've worked so hard for so many years, when I decide I want to retire, I want to be able to do things that I enjoy, things that maybe I've not done before. But if my health is not well, I may not be able to do that. So I need to try to do the things that's going to help me maintain independence so that I can do those things. Our weight management, again, as we spoke about, weight management is important because it affects our health and how we feel. It affects our organs. It affects our health and wellness, our heart, you know, all of those things that we've talked about before. So making sure that we're eating a balanced diet and actually getting nutrition. Getting nutrition is so important for our bodies. Looks like it's about time for a break, so I'm going to go to a quick break before we come back, okay?
We're in our 18th year of practice at the Hammer Chiropractic Center, and we've seen over 15,000 different people in the Rocky Mount area. 40% of headaches actually come from a neck problem. Many patients come in taking multiple aspirin, over-the-counter medications and such a day, and we can get you to stop doing that and actually fix the problem so the headaches don't rise anymore. A lot of people think chiropractic hurts. It does not. Most of the people come in and they feel great when they leave.
Get ready for Rock the Mount. North Carolina Wesleyan University's annual event is coming. Tuesday, August 20th from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Proudly sponsored by Southern Bank and Trust. Join us as we welcome the class of 2028. Vendors and community partners are welcome. Contact Elliot Smith at 2524-541682 and rock the Mount on the campus of North Carolina Wesleyan University.
Let me ask you this question. Do you want to inspire the people in your home, your family? One of the main excuses I get when people come to speak with me about health and wellness, about nutrition always falls in with health and wellness. That's why I go back to this, because our nutrition is important to how our body responds to things. It's one of the things that keeps our body going. But one of the excuses I get is, well, my husband or my children or my family doesn't like to eat those things, so then I have to cook different meals, or I have to, either I don't get to eat good myself because it's easier to cook and eat what they eat. And normally what I tell the women is, who does the grocery shopping in your house? It is hard because you've got a household of kids. Let's say you've got a couple of kids, you've got your husband, or it's just you and your husband, and everyone's used to eating what they're used to eating. But do you really want to inspire them? Is it worth you getting better to change what you're doing with your family? Influencing your family, one of the things you can do is start your journey on your own, and people will see you. Your family and your immediate home will see you. They will see the changes that you're making, and maybe you'll inspire them to get on board, because why would you get healthy and not worry about if your children get healthy or your husband gets healthy? So it's something that you can do to inspire not only your family, but you can make lifestyle changes that can inspire beyond your family, your people you work with, people you go to church with, friends that you do things with. You can inspire people sometimes by saying absolutely nothing and letting them see a change in you that you made when you worked so hard to change habits, to change how you responded to people, to set boundaries, when you look better, when your color's better, when you're smiling more. Those things can inspire someone else. They'll come and say, what are you doing? And then you can tell them, I decided to change my life. I wasn't happy where I was, and I decided I didn't want to be that way the rest of my life. So I wanted to make some changes, and I wanted to be healthy so I could enjoy my life. Be an inspiration to people. Don't be afraid to let people see you, the real you. And don't be afraid to let them see, even if you're struggling and making these changes, because they can be supportive to you as well. Choosing sustainable and eco-friendly habits, such as eating plant-based diets and reducing waste in the world, that can contribute to the well-being of the planet too. So that's another way to affect or influence outside of your home. These are all things that we're concerned about in our world. We talk about the things that's happening, global warming, all sorts of things. And, we need to all pull together to do better. I wanted to talk to you about some of the common lifestyle changes that people make. Normally, when I first start working with someone, I initially do a bioscan, a thermal imaging. I look at what's going on in their body, but I talk to them. I sit down and talk a good hour and a half to them. We find out things that are affecting them, things that they're thinking about. And in the beginning of this segment, I mentioned that, we have good habits and bad habits, and sometimes habits that we don't even know have any significance, or we think they don't have any significance. But when I'm working with someone, I always encourage them to journal. Write a journal in the evening or throughout the day about what you ate, something you did, an activity you did. If someone hurt your feelings, how did it make you feel? If you responded, how did it make you feel? Whatever's going on with you, if you keep a journal, you will begin to realize where certain things are causing you, or are triggers for you, I should say, that would cause you to get off track, or maybe have a bad mood, or things that would affect your emotions. Boundaries is a really hard one. Setting boundaries with your family, with your friends, with your coworkers. Setting boundaries is so important to our emotional health, and that one thing alone can affect our health and wellness in many ways. So I encourage people to begin to write down things that are bothering them, write down boundaries that are being crossed, by their friends or families or coworkers or anyone, and begin to work on learning to set those boundaries, because it affects your health and your wellness. Regular exercise, doing that activity we talked about a few minutes ago, those are the things that I will encourage people to do. And this is a great time of year for exercise if you go to the beach. I don't know any harder exercise, at least for me, than to walk through the sand on the beach. That is a workout for my legs and my back and my arms. So that is a fun way to get exercise. Get your vitamin D. Be creative in what you're doing. You don't always have to go to a gym. You don't have to pay a gym membership. There are things you can do at home. You can watch an exercise video on TV. You can do yoga stretching. You can do breathing exercises. There's so many things that you can do, and these are some of the things we teach at Well Life to help our clients improve their health and well-being. And again, we talked about the adequate sleep. Stress management is so important. So teaching people mindfulness, meditation, some people get a little weirded out about those words, so I like to tell you that, we can meditate on anything. We're to meditate on God's Word. That's what He tells us. So meditation does not mean you're worshiping something else or doing something else, but sometimes you just need to get still, and you just need to get quiet. Listen to your breathing. Get your body calm. That's a great way for stress management. Help bring your anxiety levels down. If you're suffering from depression, make sure that you're talking to someone, that you have a therapist, that you've got friends you can count on, that you're trying to get the proper nutrition and vitamin nutrients that help your body respond to depression better so that you can feel better. And one thing is avoiding harmful behaviors. When I'm working with someone, I always give them a little bit of something that they can do that they would be surprised by, because I know I'm going to come and ask them to take something away. And we've got harmful behaviors. I mentioned a couple weeks ago, maybe it was last week before, about the information that came out with the FDA finally taking away an ingredient that was in BVP, I think, that was in sodas that was so harmful that they've known about for 50 years. There's so many things that are harmful to our body. We are so conditioned. We drink sodas all the time in this world. There's soda commercials. There's commercials about other things that are not good for you, but they're selling their product, and we are listening rather than making healthy choices. Pay attention to what you're buying. Pay attention to what you're putting in your body, because it can have long-lasting results. Quitting smoking is something that's hard for people to do, but if you set your mind to it, that is a lifestyle change. There's so many different things that can be considered lifestyle changes, and I believe it's more than one thing that someone has to change. You have to group things together and work on them and try to overcome things. Alcohol consumption, drugs, avoid recreational drugs and those things. They are harmful to our bodies. But people have addictive behaviors, and that has been proven that some people are more addicted than other people. But I believe anyone, if they press hard enough, if they put their mind to it, they can change. I had a friend who drank for years and drank every night and drank a lot every night, and just one day they just decided, I don't want to drink anymore. They had had enough. They wanted to change their life. Something had happened in their life that made them want to change their life. And just like that, in an instant, and it's not that easy for everyone, I know, but just like that, in an instant, this person decided to put it down and make a lifestyle change. When we make our mind up, making our mind up is half the battle. Real quick, I want to let you know some of the ways that you can do this. Set realistic goals. Sometimes we make goals for ourselves that are way too hard for us to reach. Do it in steps. Write down some goals that you would like to achieve, and then begin to gradually build on those. Seek support. Ask someone in your family, a good friend, to help be your cheerleader. If you can't afford to go to a health and wellness counselor, get as much information as you can and get support from the people that are around you, people that you can trust that will be honest with you, because you need someone to be honest. and stay consistent. Consistency is a huge key in making changes in your life and being able to keep them continually going, as we said, in being sustained. Monitor your progress. That's what the journal's for, that you can look back and see how far you've come, and give yourself a pat on the back. It's all right to encourage yourself and praise yourself. Sometimes that might be the only person praising you, so go ahead and listen to your own praise. Making lifestyle changes can lead to a healthy, more fulfilling life with benefits that extend both physical and mental health. It can completely help you in everything that you do, and your life will just be so much better. You'll live so much more optimally. And if things do come around that knocks you down, when you've made these lifestyle changes, you've got something to grab hold of that can help keep you standing and keep you going. Now, next week, if I don't have a guest, I'm waiting to hear back from a guest. If I don't have a guest next week, I'm going to go a little bit more into relationships and setting boundaries. That seems to be something that's very hard for a lot of people to do. You know, I've struggled with boundaries over my lifetime, and even though I've made great accomplishments in some boundaries, sometimes there's still things that come up that I struggle with. And I want to discuss that a little bit more, talk about the relationships that we have and how they affect our health and our wellness. And if we have a guest next week, then we'll talk about it later. Didn't bring my Epionce cup tonight to advertise the Epionce skincare that I sell, but you can go to my website, welllifeinstitute.com, if you want to look up any information about the services that we do at Well Life. If you want to find out about the skincare that we do, give us a call, 252-363-7721. We're happy to help you, talk to you, bring you in and let you just get a look at what we have to offer, and do a bioscan on you and see where you stand physically in your body, see how you're doing. My goal is always to get to the root cause of what's holding someone up, to get to the root cause of their pain if they're having pain. We really work with people a lot on pain, and pain can really, restrict us in things that we're doing in our life. Well, time is short when I get talking on this show, and it's already time to go. I hope you have a great evening. Make sure you reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm happy to talk with you. Happy to have you stop by the shop and see me. Located here in Rocky Mount, 121 Candamore Lane, and in Wilson, 2223 Nash Street Northwest. I hope you have a blessed evening.